Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another 2-in-1 Marvel Legends action figure review on the Zabu Build-A-Figure Waves Red Widow and Black Winter Thor. I am not really too excited about either of these figures. There are mostly reused parts for each of them. I'm not that familiar with either of the characters, but I did do some research. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of new to cover just based off of looking at the figures in the packaging over here. So I'm doing a 2-in-1. On the side, you can see we have the Black Winter Thor, and then we have Red Widow over there. And then on the back, there's little read-ups for each of them. So if you want to read it for Red Widow, go ahead and pause it right now. There it is for the Black Winter Thor version. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause it right now. There's all the other figures from the wave. And then you get images again of each character on the side. You get Marvel spot varnished on the top, not much more on the bottom. So let's get to it and crack these things open. And if you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so at
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here are the figures out of the packaging. Yep, not bad looking figures. Figures that I really did not need in my collection, but I have this thing of loving new characters on the shelf, new villain on the shelf, another character on the shelf to help complete a team. It satisfies me. I might have a problem. Yeah, I do. So, yeah, let's get to it and get a closer look. We'll start with Red Widow. So I skimmed through Avengers number 10 from back in 2018, where I think that was her first appearance, and she's supposed to be training a new Winter Guard, and she's pretty savage, pretty badass, but doesn't do a lot in that particular issue, and she doesn't really join the team while they have the same suits on that we have in figure form, so that's a little bit unfortunate that they're not going to match. And I do want to check out the Winter Guard comic series. I did not check that out, but looking at the head sculpt, it looks okay, looks all right. I wish the figure had paint on it. It's too much just flat red plastic, and it makes the whole thing look a bit cheap to me. They've done this thing right here where I feel like they're trying to make it look like her shoulder is sticking out of the cape. I don't know exactly what's going on with this bulbous over here, but it looks a little bit weird, and the cape is overall pretty restricting on a very articulated Shriek body mold. Now, they did change things up. We have a new upper torso right over here. You can see that that's, doesn't stick out as much in the front as it does on the Shriek figure, and I think that's mostly to accommodate this cape going over it. I like the wrinkles. I like how it has motion going off to the sides. I do like the straps that they've added. Nice clean deco right there. A little bit of paint chippage right over here on her right hip, so that does bother me, but I do like these new straps that they added over here, and I love having the pinless joints. You can see nice deco on the back of the hands, and she has gripping hands on right over here. She comes with another set of alternate hands. Legs look fine, peg holes. Here's another look at the cape, or is it a cloak? It seems like it's more like a cloak, but anyway, yeah, I wish they added paint to this. It's just mostly all red like that, and she does have white. Oh, this strap came off. Damn it, that's not supposed to fall off. She has a fist on her left side, wide open hand on her right side, which looks pretty good with the black paint, and then she comes with this same weapon that we'd seen with the hand ninjas. It's sufficient for this character. So Black Winter, also known as the Creeping Plague, I think he had some other aliases as well, but this particular version is from the 2020 Danny Cates series where we had Harold Thor, and this character could manifest itself into any kind of look it wants to. It's kind of like a void deity, evil eternity kind of thing that wants to kill Galactus, and with Thor being a herald of Galactus, he's trying to protect Galactus, and thus they fight. They kind of have like this thing where the Black Winter takes the form of all of Thor's enemies, and then like the final boss round it's Thor versus Thor, which I thought was very unoriginal, kind of reminded me of Super Smash Brothers. But anyway, I really like this head sculpt right over here. I think that looks really cool. I love the shadowing, the eyes look great, I love the motion of the hair, so that is definitely the coolest part of the figure. And the cape. The cape looks very cool too. I like the translucency that we're seeing right there. That is really neat how it's tattered and everything. But the rest of it, it just feels like all kinds of cheapness. It's the same thing as the Harold Thor figure, just very little paint. It's just almost all black plastic. and no wash on the chainmail sections of it or anything. So you're looking at, you know, a redone Thor figure right here with just way less paint. They used some gray pieces over here, but yeah, it's very bland, not that interesting aside from the head sculpt, of course. And he does come with a cool Mjolnir. I just wish the handle on this Mjolnir was just a little bit thicker for the gripping hand, because it is fairly heavy and hefty, and it's kind of loose in there, you know, so that does bum me out. I wish they went with a bigger handle for this. Maybe if they went with a little bit more of a translucent black, that would have been a little bit cooler, but I still think this looks neat. And then he does come with a set of fisted hands to go along with the gripping right hand that has the horizontal hinge, and you have a wide open hand on the left side. So to briefly go over the articulation with these two figures, yeah, we don't get a lot with the whole Red Widow figure right here. She can move her head side to side. She has a neck hinge in there, so you can get the head to move up, and she will look down, pivots a little bit. As far as moving the arms, this is, like, you're not getting much with this left arm. You could bend the left elbow in that much and turn it side to side. And, of course, you get the hand articulation and wrist articulation. The right arm, of course, is going to move a whole lot more so. But this is mostly just very hindered, and there's not a lot of posing options for her. You get the diaphragm cut, diaphragm pivot. She crunches forward a bit and back, and then you know what it is for the rest of the figure right there. And then we know what it is for this figure right here. We just have the new head on it, and you can turn the head side to side. It pivots some. You'll look down. Yeah, he's got a hinge in there, and he can still look up, which is actually pretty cool. But this figure is just really tricky to stand. He doesn't really balance so well. There's just a lot of weight to him. Now it looks like he's pinching a loaf while he's standing there like, Now to measure out these figures, you could see Black Winter is standing, wow, up to around 8 inches tall with that hair, a bit under that actually, and then Red Widow is standing just a bit under 6.5 inches tall. And for some quick size comparisons, we have Red Widow next to Shriek, and here's the Red Widow figure next to the other figures that I have with the Winter Guard, and again, none of them actually look like how they did when they're in the books with her, but we have Darkstar, Crimson Dynamo from Marvel Select, and we have the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure, which actually does look like how he looked when he was in the books with her, and then we have not Vanguard, but Red Guardian. Then here's Red Widow and Black Winter next to the other figures from the wave I already reviewed. We have Superior Iron Man, Kazar, and Cable. And I'm going to take a break from reviewing this wave for the rest of this week. I have some DC Multiverse stuff that I bought that I really have been enjoying, and I want to talk about that Plastic Man wave. I also have the Ramen Racer, which I want to look at this weekend, and Transformers Missing Link Optimus Prime I also want to look at. But out of Icarus and Wolvesbane, which of those two would you rather see reviewed first? And then here's Red Widow and Black Winter next to a couple average 6-inch scale figures. We have Scarlet Spider and Black Suit Spider-Man. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, show some love to the channel by simply clicking that like button. And if you're new here and you haven't already, or if you're old here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I know some of you guys watch, but you don't hit the subscribe. You gotta hit the subscribe. You don't gotta do anything. I appreciate you guys watching. If you don't want to subscribe, don't. But, you know, if you want to make me happy, then, you know, you could do it if you wanted to. But anyway, these two figures right here, you know, speaking of making me happy, they don't really make me that happy. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, really, the funnest part of doing this review was the sketch in the dork room. I like doing that part, but other than that, I felt like this was a little bit cumbersome because I don't really know too much about the characters, and I don't really like either of the figures that much. The Black Winter Thor falls over easy. It's tricky to get him to hold his smoggy Mjolnir over there, so that's kind of a bit of a bummer. Plus, I really wish he had some more paint on him. Something to change it up, something to make it look a little bit more interesting. I like the cape, but just overall, it's just a very bland figure, and the same could be said about the Red Widow figure. There's not a whole lot going on with her either. It's just like this, it looks like a blocky red piece of plastic over here, you know what I mean? It kind of reminds me of like the cheese wax, like, oh man. So I'm not really, and she can't really articulate very well either, or at least in the arms anyway. So there's not a whole lot to offer over here. Mostly Build-A-Figure pieces is what I would say is my favorite part of owning these. And having new characters on the shelf, as I mentioned earlier. But that's me, and I clearly have a problem. So, you know, that I'm not really happy to have them. At the same time, I'm not super bummed out about it, you know? But definitely more bummed out than happy. All right, so the price point around $25. I'm going to give Red Widow a sud rating of meh. And at that same price point, Black Winter Thor gets a SUD rating of.
I'll wait for the Black Friday sale.
And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments section below. Did you absolutely love these figures and I just ruined all your dreams or something? Or did you hate these figures too? I don't hate them, I just really don't like them. You know, I'm just not really that happy with them. But again, new characters on the shelf. Go ahead and fulfill my addiction over here for plastic. Yeah, I like it. Anyway, let me know what you guys got to say about the figures in the comment section below. If you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. And I will catch you guys later. Peace.
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face, a sip more shot. Your face, a sip more shot. Your face.